Our first score. It's the Griffins that seem to have gone over in the top corner. Referee Christopher Allison just having a quick word with his assistant referee, and the score has been awarded. Try has been scored by the NovaVit Griffins. First blood to the visitors here in Kempton Park. What a start to this game. First kick of this game going to the NovaVit Griffins. It is not going to be an easy kick. That try was scored in the top corner. And maybe next time he's going to ask his teammate to see if he can run it a little bit closer. Nonetheless, let's see if he packed in his kicking boots today. A wonderful strike of the ball. It's a low hanging kick, and it's unfortunately not going to add the extra 2 points, but it's the NovaVit Griffins taking the early lead in this SA Cup Challenge, round 6. Kick was taken by the left wing, Andrew Kota. He has been pipped as one of the players to watch for the Griffins, one of the top scorers in this SA Cup Challenge. Well controlled in the air by the inside centre, Chris Hollis. Valke having to defend. And then a long raking kick by the fullback, Kyle Sister, and he finds a lot of purchase on that one, but unfortunately, referee says the ball was carried back. Our referee, Mr. Christopher Allison, one of the top referees in South Africa, doesn't miss a thing. Assistant referees today is Willem Lombard as well as Zakele Kanye, both of them from the Valke Rugby Union. Mr. Willem Lombard on the opposite side of the field. We're going to have our first line out of this enthralling match. Well taken by the Valke. Ball brought down immediately. One of their big weapons so far in the SA Cup has been their driving maul, and we can see it getting some momentum. Griffins having to defend for all they are worth. Long ball out to Musa Chabalala, the outside centre. Still ball retention, very good for the Valke. Mr. Allison was playing advantage. Griffins had pulled down that maul, which was illegal, and they have to for the Valke. Flyer for the Valke, Sergio Stalmeester, contemplating whether he's going to the sideline or is he going to take the points and try and kick at post, but sideline is the winning choice. I'm going to guess we're probably going to see that driving maul again. The hooker Pierre Rabi ready to throw the ball in. Full line out called by the Valke. I think that tells us the story, and we can see it, but unfortunately ball is not straight, says Mr. Christopher Ellison. And that chance went to begging. And for all the effort, Valke now have to try and scrum their way into possession. Quick look at the front rows for both these teams. On the side of the Valke, on the Lucette side, we've got Caden Kiewit. We've got the hooker Pierre Rabi and the tight head prop Blaine Golden. For the NovaVit Griffins, on the Lucette side, we've got Mtokozizi Gumede, Willem van den Heever as the hooker, and Bushle Nojekwa as the tight head prop. Immediately there's all kinds of shenanigans in that front row. Referee Mr. Alliston's trying to move them over. We can see the fields are slightly waterlogged. Lots and lots of rain in the Gauteng region over the last week or so. But luckily it has cleared up today. It's a fantastic day for rugby. The weather has played along. We had a little bit of sunshine earlier. Slightly cloudy now. Not really a breeze to talk about. Hopefully some whirlwind rugby we can enjoy. Good scrum from both teams. Valke with a late effort there in the scrum. But NovaVit Griffins come away with the ball. Long raking kick downfield again. Valke having to retreat, finding themselves deep within their 22. But a very, very good clearing kick by, it looks like, the left wing, Valentino Wellman. All in all, the NovaVit Griffins getting away from their try line quite successfully, but still attacking ball for the Valke. First line out of the day on the side of the NovaVit Griffins. Van den Heever to put the ball in. Very good work in the air by the Griffins locks. That would be Lungi Mbiko and Matt Gray. And now the Griffins trying to show that they can also put pressure on you with a ruck. Good work by the Falcons. Referee says they're all on side. They can still play. But unfortunately, in all the action, one of the Falcons knocked the ball on. So we're going to have our second scrum of the game. Both of these teams currently on the same amount of points. Looking at the SA Cup table, NovaVit Griffins are in third position. Their points for is 236. The Valke are in sixth position, although they both have played 5 games and won 3. But because of points difference, the Valke have 158 points for and 192 against, which gives them a negative points difference of 34, whereas the Griffins have more bonus points and they also have a positive points difference of 69 points. Good scrum by the Valke, but the Griffins still getting the ball out successfully. Trying to get over the advantage line is Chris Hollis again. Taken up well by Mtokizizi Gumede, and now the Valke putting a lot of pressure on the Griffins in defense. Good step by the fullback Kyle Sister. Very difficult for the Griffins to get over the advantage line, and successful defense by the Valke. Not just spinning them behind the advantage line, but also securing ball for them in the form of a penalty. Mr. Christopher Ellison saying that one of the Griffins held on to the ball. That probably would have been the fullback Kyle Sister. Didn't get assistance from his team quite quick enough. And the Valke able to convert that into a penalty. Quite a good crowd out here in Kempton Park today. The Barnard Stadium filled up very nicely. Most of them likely for the Valke. Chance again for Pierre Rabi, the hooker, to put the ball into the line. Good ball coming down, a little bit messy at the back of the ruck. Griffins trying to make the most of it. Messy ball for the Valke is what they want today. And then there's a gap spotted by the scrum of Richmond Gora. And now a chance for the Griffins. Let's see what the Speedsters can do with the ball. Still in play. Very well done by the Valke's Esric Alexander. Trying to run himself out of trouble. Is that the right decision? Straight path is the one to choose, says Calvin Kanenungo. And now the Falcons have to really protect that ball. Vernig Oukamp bringing the ball out. And interesting to see that the Valke still opting to play from deep within their half. Musa Chabalala in a rush to get that ball out. Now there's some space spotted by the scrum of Vernig Oukamp. Again, Oukamp playing the short side. First chance to see what Valentino Wellman can do with ball in hand. Does well to protect the ball for his team. Godfrey Muzanargo trying to make some extra meters. And now the big lads in the midfield trying to scare some backline players of the NovaVit Griffins. Defense of the Griffins so far holding well. Good decision by the Falcons, Musa Chabalala, not to pass that ball. Looked like his teammate was in front of him. And then there's a penalty for the NovaVit Griffins for all the effort on defense. Mr. Christopher Allison says he agrees. The Falcons were holding on to the ball on the floor. And with that, a chance for the Griffins to get out of their half. The referee, Mr. Christopher Ellison, making the most of one of the Falcon players needing some attention. That's Pierre Rabi, the hooker. Seems he'll be leaving the field with a blood replacement, and in his place we will have number 16 Joshua Eras making his way onto the field. Probably didn't think he was going to get onto the field this early in the game, but lots of faith being put into Joshua Eras. And in the meantime, a very, very good kick by the Griffins to get themselves into the 22 of the Falcon. First chance in a couple of minutes for the Griffins to flex their muscles. Griffins hooker Willem van den Heever getting some instruction from his Lucid prop Ntokozizi Kumede. Some kind of move has been called. They successfully have to get the ball first, and unfortunately that throw-in was skew. Van den Heever not happy with himself. But throwing a ball into the line out right at the back, always risky, always. Score so far in this game 5-0 in the favor of the NovaVit Griffins. Early try in the top corner. Since then, the Falcons have applied a lot of pressure to the Griffins. And a penalty for the Falcons. Well, if you a Monopoly playing person, that is a get out of jail free card handed to the Falcons by the Griffins. Sergio Stalmeester, fly off for the Falcons. Probably looking for a little bit more distance, but it is still Falcons ball. Chance for Joshua Eras to put the ball into the line. His first addition to this game is not successful. Picked up at the back by Van den Heever. He's a live wire hooker, this guy from the Griffins. Forward now trying to make some extra meters. Seems to be some space on the outside if they can find the runner. Griffins doing it very well. And back inside, the Griffins are going to score the second try of this game with a fantastic backline move. We will confirm who scored the try. But the hand-to-hand from the NovaVit Griffons, very, very good. And you can clearly see their coach, Jacques Juries, was a former backline player himself. Played for the SWD in 1996. And also played for the Pumas when they played in the Bankfin Currie Cup in the late 90s. He played with the likes of Jacques Olivier, Marius Goosen, and current Glasgow Warriors coach Franco Smith. Kick is successful by the NovaVit Griffons. And that stretches their scoreline to 12 points to 0. Fantastic kick by Andrew Cotta. Andrew Cotta, he is fourth on the list of most conversions in the SA Cup. Sitting on 18 conversions before this game. We can now make that 19. Deep kick-off by the Valke. Taken in by the big burly Buhle Nojekwa. And now the Griffins full of confidence. Clearly trying not to play inside their half. Let's see what the Valke can do. Some pace on the outside now. One of the bigger men found. Ball not going to hand by Calvin Kanenungo. Still ball retained. And then the ball knocked on in the midfield. Mr. Ellison blowing on his whistle. We're going to have another scrum. That we can put down to an unforced error by the Valke. With the amount of ball that the NovaVit Griffins are keeping in hand, having ball by the Valke is like gold. They should at all cost keep that ball. Scrum so far in this game quite evenly matched. Brought out quickly by Richmond Gora. They're looking at their fast-paced men on the outside. Now the forwards trying to pick and go, making some extra meters on the side of the rucks. Great defense by the Valke. NovaVit Griffins, they seem to always have a plan. Van den Heever taking a straight line. Gora. Eighthman doing his bit. That's Ulrich Stander. Now the Valke trying to get their hands on the ball, and Mr. Ellison says they have successfully done so. They get awarded with a penalty. And it couldn't have come at a better time for the Valke. They were definitely on the back foot. This Griffins team, they have come from Valkom to play some running rugby. Adequate clearance by Sergio Stalmeester. Gets his team up to about halfway between the 10-meter line and the Griffins 22. Joshua Era still on the field in place of Pierre Rabi. Went off with a blood replacement a couple of minutes ago. Messy ball, but the Valke will take it. Long pass by the back line, trying to find some space, some kind of chink in the armor of this NovaVit Griffins team. Very difficult to do. The defense is immense. That might have been a little bit high. What does the referee say? No, he says play on. It's the number 4 lock, Lungi Mbiko. Valke now on the front foot. Fantastic defensive work, but the Falcons still have the ball. Eros making some more meters. Referee says Griffins player are the first ones in. They can steal that ball, nothing wrong. Chance gone begging for the Falcons. And the clearance, very well done by the NovaVit Griffins. The exit plan working well today. But a great run by the fly of Sergio Stalmeester, showing that he can't just kick. He's a man with speed and can step off both feet. But Andrew Kota, shall I dare say the tiny figure of Andrew Kota, upstaging Sergio Stalmeester on the way to the try line. Had it not be for that tackle by Andrew Kota, Valke could have very likely had their first score of this game. Score currently 12-0 in favor of the NovaVit Griffins. NovaVit Griffins have actually brought a bus full of fans today. I had a look at their Facebook page yesterday. And I think a very nice endeavor. They organize a bus. Any fan that wants to come from Valke are welcome to get into the bus. It's free of charge. And they actually have quite a very good contingent of support here in Kempton Park today at the Barnard Stadium. Very, very good to see. It bodes well for South African rugby at this level. Some attention being given to our replacement hooker, Joshua Eras, on the Valke side, and unfortunately, or should I rather say fortunately, he is back on track, ready to put the ball into the line out. Short line out called by the Valke. Interesting call. Very good line out this time by the men from the Val triangle area. Eros at the back controlling the ball. This loose scrum, first crabbing across the turf, but now straightened up very nicely. Nice pass out to the side, and it's the outside center, Musa Chabalala, who is going to dive over for the first try for the Falcons in this game, and the crowd have let you know how they feel about that. Great work by Musa Chabalala, the outside center, straightening up, breaking through the final defense of the Purple People Eaters. But let's put that try down to Vernig Oukamp. The scrum off for the Valke. Picked the ball at the right time, picked the right line, and then after keeping his defender very, very busy, offloaded to Chabalala on his left shoulder. And that led to the points for the Valke, and some 2 points extra added by Sergio Stalmeester, who's successful with a goal. Score now looking a little bit better for the Valke. 12 points to 7. Still a lot of time in this first half, about 27 minutes left. First time in the game for the NovaVit Griffins to kick off. That's Duan Pretorius, their captain. Valke still continuing with, I'm going to call it risky rugby in their own 22. They seem to have a plan. This time Andrew Kota successfully bumped off. And then the Griffins not rolling away fast enough. Trying to pin the Valke in their own 22. But Mr. Christopher Allison awarding the penalty and another chance for the Valke to exit. Another successful kick by Sergio Stalmeester as we see the ball fly out in front of the main stand. A couple of airplanes in the background. OR Tambo International Airport, not too far from here. Let's see where this ball's going to fly. Eras to put it in. Short line out called by the Valke. Not the greatest of throws. Again, it's picked up by Van den Heever, the hooker for the NovaVit Griffins. Griffins haven't had a lot of ball in the last 5-6 minutes. Taken up by Ulrich Stander. Now some front foot ball for the men in purple. Man-on-man defense, very good for the Valke. Straightening up is Kyle's sister, fullback. Gora looking for the ball. Skip pass out to the outside. It's been successful for the NovaVit Griffins. Make a few meters, getting over that advantage line quite well. Now Gumede. Valke trying to steal the ball for all they're worth. Nice pass out to the number 5 flank, Matt Gray. Still the Griffins, look at the pace. Inside pass is going to be well received by Sister. And it's Kyle's sister running over for the NovaVit Griffins. All too easy. And a defensive lapse by the Valke, costing them another 5 points. Haven't seen much of the outside center for the NovaVit Griffins, Keanu Vers. But he injected himself very well, lots of pace to get through that gap, and then all the vision in the world to see that he's got the last defender coming over to him. Gave it to his teammate on the inside, Kyle's sister. And some more points for the NovaVit Griffins in the bag. Andrew Kota, and he's very good at kicking the ball. Conversion number 20 in this SA Cup. Points tally for the NovaVit Griffins, 19 points to 7. And the Valke having a torrid time in this first half here in the Barnard Stadium in Kempton Park. Clouds have dissipated a little bit. Sun coming out. Let's see where Sergio Stalmeester is going to put this ball. It's a deep kick. Well-weighted kick. Eighthman for the Griffins. Stander did very well not to lose that ball. And now the ball has been picked up by the long and lanky Griffins. His number 4 lock, Mbiko. They're looking for support on the outside. And it's that number 15 again. Kyle's sister flies through the air like a flying fish to score his second try of this game. Now, if you're a coach, this is the kind of thing you want to see. Many a coach has been killed, if I can put it that way, by your team scoring and then the opposition scoring straight back from the kickoff. But the NovaVit Griffins making sure that doesn't happen. How do they do that? While you go and score another try. Fantastic work by the number 4, Lungi Mbiko. Picked the ball up behind the ruck, saw there was nobody in sight, and he showed us those long lanky legs. And in the meantime, it's Andrew Kota adding another conversion to his tally. And the score not looking good for the Valke at the moment. 26 points to 7, the NovaVit Griffins lead. Falco will have to dig deep. Still some time left before half time. They've had enough momentum to score more points. Just haven't applied enough pressure to the Griffins in the right places, in the right areas on the field. Standard again, taking the ball up very well. Now Mingi Piti, number 6 flank for the Griffins. Griffins full of confidence. Sister with a very long and raking kick. Finds touch just outside their half. That's where Mr. Willem Lombard is going to take up his station with his flag in his hand. And the Valke have to try again from within their own half. Looks like Pierre Rabi is back on the field. He's been stitched up. Unfortunately, first throw into the line after his repairs. Not what he wanted to deliver, I'm sure. And it's going to be a scrum to the NovaVit Griffins. So far, the scrums in this match, quite an evenly matched area of the game, I'd say. Nobody really getting the upper hand. Valke trying to get some ascendancy, not being able to do it. Picked up by Gora. First defenders beaten. This right wing, Chris Nell, making it really difficult for the Valke. Valke doing their best to get their hands on the ball, illegally so. Picked up by that lock come wing Mbiko. Referee Mr. Ellison allowing the Griffins to play on, seeing if they can get some kind of advantage, but eventually blowing his whistle, no advantage. And it's another penalty to the Griffins. Now, if ever you've wanted a good attacking position, this is where you want to be. In the middle of the field, in the 22 of the opposition, and you have a scrum. Griffins opting to put 4 men on the right-hand side, 2 on the left. But let's see what they choose. They go to the open side. Picked up by Gora. Gora too quick for everybody. Slices through the defense. And it's the NovaVit Griffins scoring their 5th try of this match, courtesy of Richmond Gora. And at the moment, it's only the NovaVit Griffins fans who seem to be partying in the stands. Valke fans, not much to cheer about at the moment. Score now 31-7 with a kick to come. And Andrew Kota does not look like he's going to miss today. And another successful kick by the number 11 for the NovaVit Griffins. That makes it his first penalty, 3 conversions. And the score is racking up against the Valke. 33 points to 7. Halftime winking in the background. Sergio Stolmeester having to kick off for the 5th time in this match. It was pipped to be an enthralling encounter so far. The Valke have not pitched up. Still enough time for them to change this game. But it's the fullback, Kyle's sister, doing his bit to make sure that it won't be easy for the Valke. Pinning them back as far as he can. And it's almost like a replay of every kickoff we've seen so far today. Griffins secure the ball, take it to the open side, get it to that fullback with a big boot, Kyle's sister, and he just chases the Valke back. Pierre Rabi. Well jumped by Eddie Evans, the co-captain for the Valke. Long pass by Okamp. Trying to find a player in space. Very difficult to do against the NovaVit Griffins. Andrew Volskink trying to get some extra meters. Good offense by the inside center. Chris Hollis again. Now Okamp. There's some space on the outside if they can use it. The man looking for work there is Rick Alexander. Also the only point scorer for the Falcons today. Kyle's sister with the catch. Taking his time to actually call the mark. But Mr. Christopher Allison says all in order and we can play on. And it's going to be a Valke ball to put in just inside their own half. Three minutes left in this half. Can the Valke attain some kind of ascendancy, get some kind of score on the board? They only have one try to show for all the effort so far in this first half. Great pass by Okamp, finding his player in space. Ball slowed down successfully by the Griffins. Great pickup by the big Blaine Golden, tight head prop. Evans trying to get 1 or 2 extra meters. Struggling to get out of their half, the Valke. Look at that defense from the Griffins. Good little fake pass, but then a loose ball picked up by the NovaVit Griffins. Halftime siren in the background. There's some space at the back. Ball being chased by Andrew Kota. How's this ball going to sit? And the crowd baying for blood. As it looks like Okamp has tackled the man off the ball, and it looks like referee Christopher Ellison agrees. And the woes of the Valke just continuing as Okamp gets shown the door with a yellow card. And he will play no further role for the next 10 minutes in the second half. Bear that in mind. But before that, chance for the NovaVit Griffins to stretch the score 33-7. Gumede whispering a couple of instructions into Van den Heever's ear just before the line out. All about execution now. So far, very good execution in the line out by the Griffins. You can hear the crowd. Everybody screaming push. The Griffins, they are listening to their crowd. They've got forward momentum and they've got 5 extra points in the form of a try on the stroke of halftime. And it looks like the hooker, Willem van den Heever, he's going to come away and get all the pats on the back from his teammates, but that was a very good team effort. Could see even some of the backline players, Chris Hollis, Keanu Vers, getting involved, making sure they're getting over the try line. And the score running away with from the Valke. Andrew Kota, the number 11 for the NovaVit Griffins, not even wasting time. Hits the ball perfectly through the middle of the poles. That takes the score all the way up. 40 points to 7 in the favor of the NovaVit Griffins. The visitors here in Kempton Park at the Barnard Stadium. I'm Tuk Skotze. Please stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the second half just after this. Good afternoon and welcome to this round 6 SA Rugby Cup Challenge. We are in Kempton Park at the Barnard Stadium, and this has been billed as an enthralling match. It is between the Valke hosting the NovaVit Griffins all the way from Valke. This is a round 6 challenge, and both of these teams are currently on 3 points. Although both of the teams have played 5 games and won 3, the NovaVit Griffins are slightly ahead of the Valke in terms of log standings. So very, very important game for both these teams. The Airling Pumas and the Griffons already securing their first and second positions. They can't be knocked out anymore, but everything is at stake because whoever goes through in the top 4 at the end of the day, they will be playing in the Currie Cup Premier Division in a few months' time. So let's go and enjoy the game. I'm Martin Tukskotse for SuperSport. And welcome back to the second half of this match. The Valke having a very, very difficult first half. The NovaVit Griffins running in 6 tries, and the current score 40 points to 7. Let's see if JP Immelman could get his team to get some score on the board early in the second half. Well taken in by the Valke. Eddie Evans, the co-captain, trying to lead from the front. One of the critical things for the Valke would be ball in hand in the second half. Griffins had starved them in that first half of ball retention, and it's definitely something they would have to work on in the second half if they want to be successful in this round 6 game. Crowd still very much behind their team. That ball shaving off the side of the foot. Kyle Sister, one of the guys who has been playing very, very well for the NovaVit Griffins. And that defense by the Valke showing that the Griffins are human. They can lose the ball every now and then. And all of that led to the Valke with a put into the line out for our first line out of the second half. Short line out called by the Valke. Pierre Rabie. He's been stitched up in the first half, ready to put it all on the line for his team. Ball well caught by Andrew Volskenk, one of the other co-captains. Valke seem to have stolen that ball. Yes, they've done that. The Christopher Allison said they had all rights to the ball. And then just look at that kick on the other side of the field. Very, very good kick by Duan Pretorius, captain of the NovaVit Griffins. He had a somewhat of a quiet first half for a team running in 6 tries, but his distribution has been very good, and his tactical kicking has been absolutely excellent. Again, a short line out called by the Valke. Well taken in by Eddie Evans. Trying to get over the advantage line. Again, Evans making his presence felt. Ball picked up by the fullback Mbembe Pai. Down the field, number 23 for the Valke, that is Adrian Hubert, getting his chance to show what he's got. Little kick over the top by Sister, but that one has gone too far, and I'd probably call that the first mistake he's made all game, Kyle Sister. Already scored 2 tries in the first half for the Purple People Eaters. Lots of instructions coming from the sideline here. Coaches trying their best to get the teams just to think about what they need to do on the field. Again, Evans, good ball for the Valke. Ball held up and slicing through the defense. Look at that sidestep. He needs some assistance, and he gets it in the form of number 7 Godfrey Muzanargwo. And the Falcons starting the second half on a very high note. Whatever JP Immelman said to them at halftime, it has worked. Scything run by the number 10 Sergio Stalmeester. I don't know if you noticed that, but there was a back pass in all of that, in the thick of the action, picked up by Calvin Kananungo, and Kananungo then finding his teammate Godfrey Muzanargo, and Muzanargo diving over for the Falcons' second try of this enthralling round 6 match. Sergio Stalmeester with a right foot. It's an easy kick. He could have thrown that one over, and he's successful. Adds the 2 points. And the score not looking good, but a little bit better than the first half for the Valke. 40 points to 14. They trail the NovaVit Griffins. Some of the top point scorers in the SA Cup so far. Most points is Danrich Versaghi of the Ealing Pumas. And equal team is George Whitehead of the Suzuki Griquas and Andrew Kota, the number 11 for the NovaVit Griffins. All of them on 57 points so far in the SA Cup before this game. And then an intercept pass grabbed out of the air. What absolute vision and control by the outside centre, Musa Chabalala. This looks like a new Valke team in the second half. Whatever they had to drink at half time, I need some of that. Musa Chabalala with his second try, third one for the Valke. And the Valke looking a lot better here with a couple of minutes into the second half. Sergio Stalmeester not wasting any time, adding some more points with a boot. Successful now with 3 conversions. And suddenly, the Valke are halfway there with 21 points to 40. NovaVit Griffins, they have to be very careful. Classic mistake by a side that gets far ahead by halftime, not taking their eye off the ball. Everybody trying to run through, throwing the Hail Marys and the 50-50s. They will need to be wary of that. Valke on the front foot, now playing with a lot of motivation. Arm out by Mr. Christopher Ellison is playing advantage. One of the Valke players losing his shirt. That's Volskink. Mr. Ellison saying there was obstruction there, coming back for the side entry by the NovaVit Griffins. No advantage to the Valke. And a chance for the Valke to see if they can quickly get out of their half from that kickoff. Decent kick by the fullback, Mbembe Pai. Now this Valke team coming out in the second half, guns blazing. And if the SA Cup has shown us anything, it's that all of these teams never ever give up. All to play for. Whoever goes through in the top 4 of the SA Cup get to play in the Currie Cup Premier Division. Stalmeester needing some assistance. Backup coming from the forwards. Now play resumes in the midfield. And the Valke are full of running.
straightening up there well. Calvin Kanenungo. Ball picked up by Okamp. Some numbers over here for the Valke if they can use the ball well. Distribution is good. Stalmeester on the side of the field. Was that a late tackle? What does the referee say? The ball bouncing into the in-goal area. And now some of the guys throwing some handbags. Not really what we want to see. Although some of the crowd tend to think this is most action they've seen all day. Referee Mr. Christopher Ellison calming down the situation. Very, very experienced referee Mr. Ellison. He hails from Pretoria. And while he's chatting to the assistant referee on this side of the field, Mr. Willem Lombard, I can tell you that he has recently blown some URC rugby games, Mr. Ellison, and also has returned from France just a week or two ago, where he had the opportunity to blow some of the EPCR Challenge Cup games. I had a chat with him before the game, and he confirmed that the French referees, although not unfair, they are very strange, in his own words. He says the players as well, they will quickly let you know if they like you as a referee on the field or not. Nonetheless, Valke again on the front foot in the second half. They've opted for the scrum, and with 5 meters between this scrum and the try line of the NovaVit Griffins, I can see some tough times up for the Purple People Eaters. Crowd getting behind their team. Score currently 21-14 in favor of the NovaVit Griffins. 3 tries for the Valke, 2 in the second half so far. The referee not happy with that scrum setup. Christopher Ellison having a hard chat to the front rows. It's Caden Kiewit, Pierre Rabi and Blaine Golden for the Valke, and on the side of the NovaVit Griffins we've got Ntokozizi Gumede, Willem van den Heever and Buhle Nojekwa. Really has been good to watch this scrum battle, picked up at the back by the 8th Abulele Ndabambi. Okamp out to Evans, about 2 meters from the Valke try line. Good short side to work with as well. They opt to go to the open side, and again that speedster just held up short. Adrian Hubert assisting, trying to get the ball out to his team. Looks like the Valke still have it now. It's the big men up front trying to force their way over the try line. Mr. Ellison says the ball was held up. It's going to be a goal line dropout, but what a second half by the Valke. I keep saying it over and over, but it's like it's two different teams from the first half and the second half. Valke have been guns blazing since the second half has started, and in contrast the NovaVit Griffins been caught unawares completely, leading 40 points to 7 at halftime. Valke have now clawed their way back 21-40, but still some way to go. Kick in from the goal line. Good defense by the NovaVit Griffins. Some meters made by Ezrik Alexander. Now there's men over on the outside. Jabab getting the ball out to Adrian. The number 23. Great defense by Kota on the side of the Griffins. But Jabab making life very difficult for the NovaVit Griffins. And the Valke score their 4th try of this match. It's Blaine Golden, the tight head prop, And is the golden era starting for this Valke team? Well, Blaine Golden says he's going to try and fire them up to get it going. These Valke players in the second half playing like some Springboks. Most notable Springbok coming from the Valke side of the world would be Bakkies Botha, the enforcer. Played many test matches for the Springboks. He came from a high school in Vereniging side of the world. Stalmeester kicking at goal, successful, adds the points. And that is the fourth conversion by Stalmeester. And the score's now looking a lot better. 28 points to 40. Now you've probably heard some commentators talking about a tale of two halves. Well, this is exactly that kind of game. NovaVit Griffins haven't had any ball in the second half. Possession stats completely swapped around. Valke ahead, not just in possession, but also field position. If they keep this up, I think we have a very tight end to this game in stall. Evans getting up very high to secure that ball. Caden Kivit, Lucette Prop assisting him, and now look at the Valke. This loose maul making about 10 or 11 meters. Oukamp, Stalmeester, Alexander, ball out in the midfield. They're finding some holes in the defense of the NovaVit Griffins. This Valke backline. Again, Oukamp looking to the open side. Great hand-to-hand. Forwards getting involved. Kanenungo getting over the advantage line. They're now deep inside the half of the Griffins. Oukamp thinking he saw some space. Cut down by the defense of the purple people eaters from Valke. But there's a renewed energy in this Valke team that we did not see in the first half, that's for sure. Ball trying to be stolen by Mbiko, Lungi Mbiko, not getting it right. Valke finding some more cracks in the defense. And then Oukamp upended unceremoniously by the defense of the Griffins. About 6 meters out from the NovaVit Griffins try line. One of the Griffins players coming over to the bottom side of the field. So looks like he needs a little bit of attention, but he's soldiering on. Nonetheless, Valke with the ball. They've got an overlap. If they can get the ball out, and the Valke are in for their fifth try of this match. And I have not seen anything like this in the SA Cup so far. Unbelievable by the Valke. I'm going to take a slight guess, but I think that try was scored by number 23, Adrian Hubert, one of the replacements for the Valke, who has really fired this team up since coming onto the field. Fourth try by the Valke in the second half alone. They only had the one lonesome try in the first half by Musa Chabalala. He has scored one in the second half. Hubert has scored. Muzanargwa has scored, and Golden. Stalmeester with a kick. It's high, but it's off to the side. And he unfortunately cannot add the extra points. But the score now, a respectable 33 for the Valke, 40 to the visitors from Valkom. And it's suddenly the home side here in Kempton Park at the Barnard Stadium's fans making the most noise. Kick-off by Duan Pretorius, captain of the NovaVit Griffins. It's a high one, his team will be able to contest. But the Valke masterfully grabbing that ball out of the air is Abulele Ndabambi. Griffins trying to steal it, Okamp getting it out, man and ball. Good defense by Chris Hollis. They've got numbers over here, the Valke again finding some holes in the defense. Well done to get back by number 14, Chris Nell. And the Valke absolutely on the back foot. Men walking back, they seem tired. I think Simon Westraat has also made his way onto the field for the Griffins, while Andrew Kota sees if he can get his side out of jail. And you can see this Valke side, they are absolutely fired up. Simon Westraat, player with yonks of experience, used to play for the Griquas, made a turn at the Pumas, lots of Currie Cup experience, now back home, trying to see what he can do with this NovaVit Griffins team. At the moment they are ahead, but all the momentum is on the side of the Valke. Okamp looking for that big number 8, Abulele Ndabambi. Stalmeester, clever little kick over the top. Which way is this ball going to bounce? Well controlled by the NovaVit Griffins. And then a penalty. And I think a very big sigh of relief for this NovaVit Griffins team, trying to catch their breath in what seems to be a Valke team that have exploded onto the field in the second half. Some breathless action on the field. We'll quickly have a look at how both these teams have fared so far. The Griffins played 5 games. First game was at Police Park in East London against the Border Bulldogs. They won that game quite comfortably away from home, 55-32. Second game was against the Sanlambulan Cavaliers. This game was at home in Valkom, and they blew the Cavaliers out of the water by 38-35. They then had the Leopards in Potchefstroom at Ullin Park, where they also won with a very, very big 79-10. The last 2 games the Griffins had to play at home against the Suzuki Griquas. Griquas were too strong for them and beat them by 52-33. And then last week they lost to the Cheetahs just in Bloemfontein by 38-31, which was a very important game for the Cheetahs. Simon Westraat, he's going to have his first throw in to the line out. Short line called by the NovaVit Griffins. Well taken in the air by the NovaVit Griffins. Bunch of replacements on the field now, and a penalty quickly taken by the NovaVit Griffins, number 9, Richmond Gora. He scored 1 try in the first half. Referee Mr. Ellison says all within his rights by the Valke, and then a loose ball by Okamp. And unfortunately the Valke taking their eye off the ball for the first time in the second half. But breathless action by the men in red. 20 minutes done in the second half, 20 minutes left. And the Griffins have had very little ball to play with. Now all of the NovaVit Griffins getting into this loose ruck, trying to advance the forwards. They don't have numbers left in the back line. I'm sure they're just going to take it up. Referee's arms out, playing advantage to the Griffins. Good run by Junior Banda, number 18. And then it's that very tall Mbiko, making life difficult for the Valke. Simon Wesraad surviving the collision. It looks like Stalmeester didn't on the defense, but still the Griffins with the ball. Can they score for the first time in the second half? Ball out, but player stepped over the sideline, and the referee says they have to come back. No advantage to the Griffins. Mr. Ellison saying that there was a high tackle on the side of the Valke. And in 21 minutes, I think this is the first time that the NovaVit Griffins have actually visited the 22 of the Valke. Unbelievable. We had tries in the first half for the NovaVit Griffins by Willem van der Neer for the hooker, Richmond Gora the scrum half, Andrew Kota the left wing, one by Chris Nell the right wing, and two by Kyle Sister. But so far, no points in the second half for the NovaVit Griffins. Griffins seem to be backing their forwards, looking for the sideline. Also number 23 on the field for the Griffins, Kuan Ayman. Full line out. Valke trying to get up and steal the ball. Can hear the fans for the Griffins all shouting push, urging their team on. The rucks have been very good for the NovaVit Griffins. Can they get over the try line? What does the referee say? Mr. Christopher Ellison is on his haunches, and the ball is held up. Valke faithful, could hear them cheer in the background. Very, very happy with that call by Mr. Ellison. Probably more so happy for their team, who were able to keep the NovaVit Griffins from scoring in the second half so far. It does mean it's a goal line dropout. Stalmeester going to be interesting to see. Is it going to send this one down the field, or are they going to try and contend? Score at the moment 33 points to 40. Valke now only one score behind, 7 points. Stalmeester keeping it low. Difficult one to judge, but well picked up by Iman. Ball swung to the midfield by the Griffins. They're finding some space on the outside. Last line of defense. What does the referee says? It's a penalty to the Valke. And then the Griffins discipline, letting them down. And Mr. Christopher Ellison marching them back 10 meters extra. Now that kind of discipline is what costs your coach's hair. He's probably going to pull out his hair, jog juries. Griffins were well on their way with some good attacking prowess on the outside. But the penalty was for obstruction. One of the NovaVit Griffins players running into the last defender for the Valke. And Mr. Ellison missing nothing today I must say, very, very good refereeing by him. Can the Falcons go all the way? They're only behind by 7 points. Well taken in the air by Falsking, the co-captain. Griffins able to pin the Falcons behind the advantage line. Now the big man asked to do some damage. Caden Kivit, Lucid prop. There's a short side, some numbers over for the Falcons. If they can use and spread this ball properly, it's off the foot. The race is still on. But the Griffins get there first. But there were some very nervous moments for the men from Valke. Falcons seem to be finding space everywhere in the second half that they just couldn't find in the first half. Very well done by the Griffins to get back. I think it was Andrew Kota in the end. Eddie Evans, the big number 4, was bearing down on him, showing some pace for a very tall man. And now a goal line dropout for the Griffins. Good kick, weighted in by Isrik Alexander. He's shown us he's got some pace, looking for some teammates. Finds it in the form of Hubert. Griffin stealing the ball, and then a penalty when the Falcons hold on to the ball on the floor, says Mr. Ellison. Andrew Kota first looking like he's going to kick the ball to the bottom side of the field and then opting to go to the other side. It's going to be Griffin's ball on the 10-meter line inside the half of the Falcons. Score 33-40. I must say I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. If you are watching this, I'm hoping that the action is really coming through as well. But what a match. 40 points to 7 at half time. The Griffins were ahead. And now 33-40. Griffins are only 7 points ahead at the moment. Simon Westraat going to put the ball into the line. "11 minutes left in this enthralling battle here in Kempton Park. NovaVit Griffins with some open space. That has been something they have not had in the second half. Falcons having to defend. Ball spewing out on the side of the Falcons, and there's a chance here if they can spread this ball. Stolmeester finding his player on his left shoulder. Now the Griffins trying to hold him up. And that's exactly what the Griffins do, and they will get a scrum for all the effort. Sergio Stolmeester, he has been playing very well for this Falcons side. Down again for the second time in the second half. We hope it's not too serious, but the medics are with him. One of the other players for the Falcons also seems to be down. Might be Okamp, the scrum off. While they're getting some attention, we'll look at the Falcons' run-up to this game. Also played 5 games. Their first one was a win at home here at the Barnard Stadium against the Eastern Province. They beat them by 41 points to 30. Then they had to travel to Kimberley and take on the Suzuki Griquas in their backyard. It didn't go so well for the Falcons. They lost that game by 68 points to 15. Then it was back to Kempton Park for their third game. And here they were able to beat the Sanlam Boland Cavaliers quite convincingly by 43 points to 26. The week after that, they played again at home the Eling Pumas. They lost against the Pumas by 50 points to 35. Tough game at home. And last week they were able to get their third win under the belt against the Pangela SWD Eagles in George. That game they beat them by 24 points to 18. Remember what is at stake. It's a position in the top 4 where you can play yourself into the Currie Cup Premier Division. What a scrum by the Griffins, but Mr. Ellison, he's awake to the fact that one of the front row players for the Griffins put his knees on the ground, which you cannot do, and it's a penalty to the Valke and a chance to relieve a lot of pressure. Safety of the touchline found by Mpembe Pai. Pierre Rabi, man who can put the ball into the line. Last minute instructions by Lindokuhle Seteni, number 17. Griffins trying to compete, not able to steal that ball. And then a gap forced open, but the ball has gone loose. Chance for the Griffins. It is Gora, got the ball off to that running Mbiko, and then an intercept by the Valke. That might just have saved them from some extra points. And now Mr. Ellison, it looks like he's going to his pocket. Is there going to be a card? Yes, there is. And this adds to the drama of this game, and it is the stalwart Lungi Mbiko coming off for the NovaVit Griffins. He had that staggering run in the first half that eventually led to Richmond Gora's try. Has really played his heart out for the NovaVit Griffins, but unfortunately overdoing it in that situation and getting shown a yellow. So he will probably play no further part in this game, Lungi Mbiko. Well, if at halftime you thought that the Valke are out of this game, you probably would be forgiven for thinking that. They are absolutely back in this game. 33 points to 40. Couple of minutes left in the second half. What is left in the tank for the Valke? Great take in the line out by Volsking. Backhand pass finding number 7 Godfrey Muzanargwa, one of the try scorers for the Valke. Again, numbers left, but the sideline playing as an extra defender. What says Mr. Ellison? Valke trying hard to get a penalty. Referee wanting none of that. Straightened up well by Zingisa April. Valke now well and truly in the 22 of the NovaVit Griffins. Again, April, he's caught with ball and all by a good defense from Junior Banda. But now if the Valke can get this ball out, there might be trouble. Linokuhle Seteni making sure he gets the ball back, and then there's space on the outside for the Valke. He came back inside and it's a try. Fantastic try by Adrian Hubert. And it's the Valke who might have just broken a couple of purple people eater hearts with their 6th try, 5 of them in the second half. And an unbelievable comeback fight by this Valke team. If ever you have seen pressure, well, this would be it. This kick to level the scores at 40 all. It's low and it is over. Does not matter what the kick looked like, it is definitely worth the extra points. And with that, incredibly, the scores are equal, 40 points each. And you can hear The local crowd here in Kempton Park really getting behind their team now. What is left for the NovaVit Griffins? Are there any tricks up the sleeve of the Valke? Kick off by the captain Pretorius, trying to get his team to be able to compete. Hollis making sure the ball comes back to the Griffins, but one of the Valke has secured the ball for the team. That's Lindo Kuthle Sateni. Unfortunately, the ball gone forward, and it's going to be a scrum in favor of the Griffins. But absolute drama here in the Barnard Stadium. Fullback Mbembe Pai angry at himself, but he's played well today. He's given it his all. And I'm sure his coach JP Emmelman would be proud. Some of the guys needing some medical attention. I don't blame them. This has been such a tough match. If we look at the SA Cup, the most tries scored before this game. 9 tries scored by Dylan Mart from the Suzuki Griquas, equaled only by his teammate Gershwin Weir. 8 tries had been scored by Gustav Durant, also from the Suzuki Griquas. And also on 8 tries, Lunati Tlele from the Sanlam Bulan Cavaliers. At the moment, Andrew Kota, he's probably sitting in 3rd position with most conversions on 21. But this game has really come alive in the second half. Less than 5 minutes left. Scores are equal, 40 points each. 6 tries apiece for both teams. What will settle this game? Gora, the loose ball behind that scrum. Well straightened up by Hollis. Valke being asked to defend. Good defense by April. Again, Gora looking for the forwards. Looks like they're trying to play for a penalty, but the first man in was a Valke player, says Mr. Ellison, and I think the Valke have turned this ball over. Yes, indeed, and they have a penalty. We are now into extra time given by the referee. Valke deciding that is just one distance too far to try and kick at goal, but a very good kick by the fullback Pai. And this is last chance saloon for the Valke. Whoever scores next will win this game. I'm going to venture a guess. If the ball goes dead, I think it would be the end, and it would be 40 points each. Rabi straight to Evans. That combination has worked well today in the lineouts. Now the Valke driving for all they are worth. One of the Griffins players there at the back, but April brings the ball out, finds some space into the 22 of the Griffins. Ball picked up by Okamp. Now they're looking for the lengthy passes in the background. Pai straightening up. Defense very good by the outside centre, Keanu Vers. And the Griffins trying to get the ball, but it's picked up by the Valke. And is it Staalmeester? And it's Staalmeester coming away with probably the winning try of this match. Unbelievable rugby. Unbelievable. Sergio Staalmeester might just become the mayor of Mfuleni with his performance today, and that last try which grabs the victory from the clutches of the NovaVit Griffins. I said at the beginning of this game it was pipped as an enthralling match, and boy oh boy, enthralling is only one word we could probably use. There are so many superlatives that could describe The first half by the NovaVit Griffins and the second half by this fired up Falcons team. Pai taking the last kick of the game. It's not going to be there. It's a little bit wide, but Mr. Ellison says there's still time left. Drama is not at an end yet. That was the siren for the end of the game, but the kickoff has to happen. Pretorius, was this kick too far? It's the Valke. They just need to keep the ball in hand. And then a big mistake, a very big mistake by Godfrey Muzanargwo. It's a penalty to the NovaVit Griffins because you cannot throw the ball out. It is deemed negative play and it is a penalty to the NovaVit Griffins. A rookie mistake by the Valke team. This could mean that the NovaVit Griffins could either, if they score here with a try, draw this game at 45 points each, or if they do score and kick over, they could possibly win what has been the toughest game in the SA Cup so far in 2025. Crowd already vying for the Griffins to push, meaning they must find this ball in the line out, bring it down. And then just start to push. That is exactly what they're asking for. Valke are defending for their lives. This is the last movement of the game. And it's the Valke who successfully defend that ruck. It is over. Mr. Ellison has blown the final whistle, and is the Valke who win an unbelievable rugby match here in Kempton Park at the Barnard Stadium by 45 points to 40. Something I have not seen in a very, very long time. Intense, incredible, and drama-filled from start to end. What a match. It means that the Valke will probably end ahead of the NovaVit Griffins after this weekend on the rankings, and all is to play for with the final third of the SA Cup still left over. My name is Martin Kotze. I am breathless, and what a match this was for SuperSport. Hope you enjoyed it with us, and we will see you at the next one. Take care. Scenes down on the field. You can see how these players, they've really left it all on the field. They've played their hearts out. First half score was 40 points to 7 in the favor of the NovaVit Griffins, and it all seemed lost when both fields took the field in the second half. Jock Juries must have been very happy with his charges at that stage, but JP Immelman said something to his players in the change rooms, and the Valke came out steaming in the second half. 6 tries apiece, 6 scored by the NovaVit Griffins in the first half. 6 tries, 1 was scored in the first half for the Valke, 5 in the second half, and then that last try by Stalmeester made it 6 in the second half, and it also won the game for the Valke. There are a lot of NovaVit Griffins supporters leaving the stands with their hands in their hair. Can't believe what they just witnessed. But I must say, in terms of a rugby game, this was really a masterclass in how to turn a game around and never ever give up. What a game to view. We hope you really enjoyed it with us on SuperSport. I am Martin Tukskotza, and we will catch you at the next game. Take care and see you then.